This is Zhiyun Crane 4 Pro and I have been using it the last 3 weeks. Now I'm ready to make a comprehensive in-depth review and what have I done to improve my filmmaking experience while using it. I'm your host Mauro and let's get straight into it. Okay, so this is the Crane 4, the new flagship gimbal from Zhiyun, and there is no doubt for it, it's the most powerful in their lineup. Big large arm that can fit the Canon C70, Red Komodo or Blackmagic 6K. They're not actually stating the payload that this gimbal can support, but actually stating the camera supported. And for my tests, yes, it can handle around 5 to 5.5 kilos of weight built around it. But it will always depend from your lens size and camera body and actually how you weight distribute it around the gimbal and around the arms. Okay, so the Crane 4 version is actually just a bigger brother from the Weebill 3S and Weebill 3. Because they have the trans-mount handle and the worst rest that's actually adjustable with the height. And these are great when you are doing run and gun stuff with your gimbal. And when using just a smaller screen on top or built-in camera screen. Once you need a bigger screen, let's say in 7-inch or even 5.5-inch, there is no space to mount without not removing the actual trans-mount handle. The trans-mount handle has an actual 1/4 screw mount on top. That is a big problem. When you're using this handle, if you want to mount something on top just like a monitor, well, it will get in the way for arms to work with the gimbal. So yes, I came up with some modifications. So I made improvements from my style of shooting to take out the best of both worlds and end up having the best all-in-one solution for my filmmaking experience. After 2 commercial projects finished and using just like the Zhiyun intended the trans-mount handle and the worst rest, well, I am removing both for an additional setup. I am removing the trans-mount handle and putting the side handle from small rig. On the other side, I have removed the trans-mount worst handle and connected 1/4 screw mount with the V-mount battery slot. This gives me the opportunity to actually power from the V-mount battery the Master Eye visual controller VC100. And why I'm doing that? Well, the Master Eye has a built-in battery that will last you about 5 to 6 hours. But if you're running it at high peak brightness, it will last a little less. And yes, you have an additional MPF battery slot on the back. But I don't like to use MPF batteries because then I will have a battery sticking out from here and actually leaning forward my gimbal. So now I'm actually having a lower weight distribution and a better weight distribution overall and having it really evenly placed and having better weight distribution on the lower part of your gimbal, making me easier to film my next project. Just like I mentioned before, I'm using the Master Eye Visual Controller VC100 as my main monitoring screen on the gimbal. You will be asking why this setup and not any other monitor. Well, there is a real solution to that. I don't have any cables from the HDMI that has to connect from the camera to the actual monitor or actual SDI. So this is able to freely spin without any problems or any cables getting around. And I am getting the visual feed from the actual trans-mount AI transmission system. And yes, now it's a fully wireless monitor that is actually just unscrew from the 1/4 screw mount and give it to an actual focus puller or actually just an DP to monitor what I'm filming. Great solution and actually it works really well. So in order to have this setup going, you shall have the trans-mount video transmission mounted on the lower part of the Crane 4 to get the live feed going. And yes, you can control the follow focus straight from the Master Eye or if you have a focus puller with you. And yes, I'm also using the mat box from Freewell and actually really versatile, giving me the possibility to adjust, fine-tune my VND just with the knob on top. And yes, this is now a true cinematic powerhouse of a gimbal. And the focus motor is now set on the zoom part of the lens. So yes, I can easily adjust actual framing in a matter of seconds with the actual wheel on the back or actually with the VC100 control knob on the side. It works flawlessly. Yes, the Crane 4 is with the 2 follow focus motors, so you can actually control the zoom or the actual focus or the actual aperture of the lens. The built-in 10 watts fill light gives me the actual instant better exposure if I need to illuminate an object or an actual person straight away. This will help me out, and actually you can control the actual power output with the control knob on the side, and also you can control the Kelvin value. The motor has a great design feature where the axis flash red when your motors are not balanced right, so you have a clear visual to correct and adjust the balance. The big color LCD screen will give you all the options to fine-tune your gimbal and control all the parameters: motor torques, smoothness, follow speed, joystick speed, and then bend. You can also connect wirelessly the gimbal to the camera, so you don't have any control cables, and you can actually start, stop recording, control ISO and aperture value depending on your camera model. On advanced features, you will be able to set panoramas, time lapses, motion lapses, and vertigo mode effects. If you don't like the balance check indicators, you can easily switch them off. The battery should approximately last you about 12 hours, depending on your actual weight that you're putting on your gimbal. When you're adding weight and actual devices on top of it, well, the battery will last much less. So for now, I'm having the Transmount AI transmitter that's actually getting power from the gimbal and actually being charged already. Also, I'm charging my camera straight from the cable connected to my gimbal. Yes, I have additional 2 devices connected to my gimbal that actually drains power from the gimbal. And yes, the battery with this setup will last about 5 to 6 hours if you build it up like this. And it's actually pretty fine for my usage, because if I am running out of juice, I can actually power the gimbal straight from the V-mount battery and extend the actual shooting period mostly indefinitely, because I'm carrying 3 batteries, V-mount batteries of 99 from Inchem, and that will give him much more of 24 hours of shoot. And I am never shooting more than 8 hours on a big shooting day. So actually, this setup will get going with just 1 battery the whole complete day of shooting. Now with this build, I am fully prepared to get on my next shooting project. Well, it's not a lightweight setup anymore, but I like to build it just like that. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I will be happy to answer to all of them. And also, all the parts used to build this rig will be linked in the description, so you can actually build it for yourself. Until my next one, thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe with the bell icon to get notified every time I make a new video, and see you on my next one.